Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far. So if you weren't expecting to see me today or even this week, same. I was not expecting to be able to film this week. If you don't know what I'm talking about, by the way, if you don't follow me on Instagram, my Instagram handle is always down below and I always put it at the beginning of every video, but I've been having a time of it, let me tell you. Last week I wasn't able to film at all. The videos that went up last week were all pre-filmed the week before because last week I put my neck out. I injured my neck, woke up one day and I did a big stretch when I was a bit sore from the gym and my neck just went. I don't know where it went. It still hasn't shown back up. So yeah, it wasn't too bad to begin with. It was very, dodgy as far as like looking that side, tilting my head that way. I still can't do it now, as you can tell. But it was steadily getting better over the back end of last week. And then I was sitting in the garden and a bee went in my ear. Rude. And I like jerked my head that way and instantly I was in agony. I couldn't move my neck, my head, couldn't really move my body at all. It was agony, hadn't been able to move the entire day, and I thought, well, I've run out of pre-filmed content, I'm not going to have any videos up this week. But I wake up today, it's Monday, and it's slightly better. It's better enough that I was able to do my makeup, I was able to move, I was able to have a shower, and I feel like I can film today. So that's fantastic. I don't know that we're going to have 3 videos up this week. I have to take it easy. I don't know how great my description box is going to be and how great my editing is going to be. I'm just going to kind of try to do my best. So if you notice I'm looking a bit stiff, I'm not really moving very much, I'm not looking over there, that's why. So we're just gonna try our best. We're gonna try the best that we can. So fingers crossed. So today it's favourites time. So that's nice. That's something positive to keep my spirits lifted. Talking about all of my favourite makeup for the month of February and one fail. Sorry about it. So first up, we're going to be talking about what's on my nails. I picked up 3 shades from the OPI Hollywood. I think it's just a Hollywood collection or something to do with Hollywood. All the names are very Hollywood movie type of nails, trying to get confused. So first up, the shade that I have on my nails is this one. Oh, you sing, dance, act and produce. I wish they wouldn't make them so long because I have to put these in my description box. If you don't know, I always list what I'm wearing on my nails in my description box along with my top and along with the makeup that I'm wearing. Maybe, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that today, but I usually do. So this is the first one and that's the one that I'm wearing on my nails. Just ignore my burn, by the way. Oops. I'm really having a clumsy time of it, aren't I? Just noticed. This next one, Destined to be a Legend, is my favourite from the collection. It's just this stunning kind of green grey and I absolutely love it. There it is there, and I'll pop up a picture of it on my nails because I know that's always super helpful. And the last one I picked up is called Hollywood and Vibe, and this is like a light kind of baby lilac-y pink shade. I need to work on my nail shade descriptions, evidently. I absolutely love all 3 of these. As I said, if I had to pick one, Destined to be a Legend is my absolute favourite. It's just very unique. It's a bit like the shade I was looking for from the Kathleen Lights collection, but that one sold out and it costs a lot to get it here. But yeah, that is my favourite. I also love this one. It's like a denim blue and it's something I didn't have already. Obviously, most of us already have these kind of pinky shades, but I didn't really have one that really performed very, very well. And this one does. It's like a 2-coat, full opacity kind of formula. But I love these shades. I love the whole collection. I could have bought more shades, to be honest. Trying very hard to remember not to move. No sudden movements. Don't make me laugh. That would be a disaster. So next up, my fragrance for this month was Love by Kilian Don't Be Shy Extreme. So previously I have spoken a while back on my channel about the original Love fragrance. I'm wearing this today and instantly my husband walked into the bedroom when I was getting ready and was like, love that perfume. What are you wearing? It's just, I mean, the bottle, absolutely gorgeous. The Kilian packaging is just always to die for. But if you are familiar with Love by Kilian, and like me, when I got a sample, a tester of Love by Kilian because it's the Rihanna perfume, the perfume that Rihanna wears. Apparently everyone thinks Rihanna, if you meet her, is like the best smelling person on the planet. And people found out that what she wears as a fragrance is Love by Kilian. So I was curious, like most of the world, what does Rihanna smell like? Do I want to smell like Rihanna? And actually, as much as I loved it and could appreciate it, it just wasn't my type of perfume. It performs incredibly well. It fills the room. Everybody can smell you. And actually you do get, is a compliment bomb. You do get a lot of compliments with Love. This one, when I was reading about this in reviews and online and descriptions and all of that jazz, I was reading very much, this is like a grown-up, more mature version, like less sickly sweet. And that was the issue that stopped me from purchasing a full bottle of Love. It just wasn't me. It was just too sickly sweet for my typical preferences. But this one, it's got more rose, and it's literally, if you imagine the edge of the sweetness being taken off of Love and it replaced with a slight rosiness, and it just being the exact same performance, fills a room, 2 sprays, everyone loves you, everyone wants to smell you, everyone wants to know what you're wearing, but it's a slightly more grown up evening version of Love is how I would describe this. It's beautiful. It's not my typical scents and my typical notes that I prefer. I prefer quite masculine scents. This is definitely a very feminine, more typical sweet floral than I would usually wear, but this one I can make an exception. It's definitely a crowd pleaser, and it's good to have some crowd pleasers in your collection because a lot of the perfumes I wear are more divisive. They are more love-hate, whereas that is like definitely a crowd pleaser. So the moisturiser I've been using recently, I've been loving, and this is the Laura Mercier Perfect Cream Multitasking Moisturiser. I was gifted this from Laura Mercier, much to my shock and awe, and it is just divine. I love it. It is the lightest moisturiser I have ever experienced. It goes on and it just feels like you've splashed your face with water. It feels so hydrating and cooling and refreshing and hydrating in the morning, but it is so thin. It just melts instantly into the skin, but it doesn't feel like it's gone. Like your face feels hydrated and full of water, and it just is such a treat. Like I look forward to putting my moisturiser on in the mornings. I'm like excited for it because it just wakes me up and makes me feel like set. I know it's not going to interfere with my makeup because it so quickly soaks into the skin and it's so thin. I just honestly just love it. It's so nice and refreshing. The perfect start to the morning, that and, you know, coffee. Another skincare item that I've been loving recently, this is the Fresh Rose face mask. I have a little mini because I got it in a little gift set, and oh my goodness, it looks disgusting. I don't even know how to describe that, but it looks pretty gross, doesn't it? It's full of actual real rose petals. I've really been looking for a face mask that isn't like punishing to my skin. A lot of the face masks I use are either very exfoliating, like a chemical exfoliant, something like the AHA Peel or something like that from The Ordinary, or they are very, you know, deep cleansing, so sucking everything out of my face, the life, the soul, the filth, if you will. So I was really looking for a face mask that actually was like just a treat to the skin. Didn't have to slough off 10 layers of skin, didn't have to suck everything out, didn't have to dry it out, didn't have to give it a bashing or anything like that. It was just a treat to me and to my skin without it being like super abrasive or anything like that. I just wanted something nice and gentle and a joy to put on. So this is what I went for, and it just ticks all of those boxes. It smells joyous. Like it literally just smells like a field of roses. It's gorgeous, and it's just so soothing and refreshing, and it just leaves my skin looking like juicy, you know, and it's not stripping anything. It's not really harsh or anything like that. When I feel like I just want to sit in the bath and treat myself and dream of a holiday spa, this is what I go with, and it's just a joy. And last, I think, I can't even look that way, but I think this is the last like non-makeup item, and this is the Ardell Brow Tint set. So in here it has, let me show you. So this is a little set, so it has like a little bottle of powder, a spatula, a spoolie, and then this conditioning developer. It also comes with like a little tray that you mix everything in. Oh, I think that is in there as well, but you probably can't see it because it's just clear. But essentially, this is a brow tinting set. Obviously, I can't get my brows done. Usually I get my brows tinted and waxed professionally, but obviously at the moment I can't do that. And it really makes a huge difference to my brows when I have them tinted because they're quite light in comparison to my hair. So I like to have them tinted. It also picks up every last little hair when you have it tinted. So, you know, if you don't have a lot of brows, it will give you more than you think because it will just colour the ones that are fair or the ones that are invisible, and it just gives you more brows. So I love having my brows tinted, and I've really missed being able to do that while everything here is closed. So I decided to try and tint them myself, and I was terrified the first time I used this. I got the shade dark brown, so that also scared me. I thought about going with the black one, but that was even scary. I just did not know what was going to happen, okay? I didn't know. I was also terrified of tinting all the skin around my brows, and I've heard of that happening with certain brow tints. So anyway, I decided to give this a try when I didn't need to film for a good few days, because I thought, you know, if it's horrendous, it will have faded a little bit before anyone has to see me. This is the perfect time to experiment with stuff like this, I feel like, because you can make sure that no one has to see you if anything goes horribly wrong. So anyway, I've now used this 3 times. I love it. These brows, this pair I've got on today, these are probably 4 or 5 days done, so it definitely lasts like a week or 2 before I feel like I need to do it again. You get so much in here, I feel like it's going to last me like a year before I need to buy a new one. And it's very, very straightforward. You mix a couple of shakes of the powder, a few drops of the cream, you mix it together, and you paint it on your brows. I have definitely accidentally got onto the skin, and it's very easily wiped off. It didn't stain, nothing bad happened, so you don't have to stress about that. And it's not harsh, it doesn't look horrifying, it doesn't stain the skin, or it didn't when I used it. So yeah, it's a winner. I really, really like it, and I think I will continue to purchase this until I can get back to, you know, the professionals. So now we're on to the makeups. I'm so sorry if I look absolutely ridiculous because I'm just trying to look there without looking there. Oh dear, madness. So first up for the makeups this month, this is the Nars, is it the Overlust palette? This is the cheek palette. I got this for my birthday, I think, or was it Christmas? I know, was it my birthday or Christmas? One of the two. They're so close together, I can't remember what I got when. But this is like a row of blush and a row of highlights. I haven't really used the top row of highlights because I've had a lot of highlights to play with, so I haven't really delved in there yet, but these blushes, oh, I absolutely love them. This one in particular is just it for me. It's just the perfect nude blush. I love the finish of these. I mean, I love NARS blushes anyway, and this palette is just, I mean, it's gorgeous packaging. It's just so easy. I could quite happily just run my brush across the 3 and use that every day, and it's just perfect, beautiful, very, very soft and subtle. I don't think it's going to work on much deeper skin than mine, but for my skin tone or lighter, it's just beautiful. I think this is limited edition, but it has been really hanging around, but I'm not surprised because it is just beautiful. I wish NARS would make more of these types of palettes permanent, because I think they're some of their best products that they have. I'm really sorry if I'm not doing proper swatches and things like that because it's a little bit tricky. We're really just muddling through today. Speaking of NARS cheek products, this is the Claudette Blush Duo. I mean, I just dive. That packaging is just divine. I was kind of disappointed when I started seeing reviews of this because they were very mixed, and it definitely felt like the promo pics of this were kind of misleading. Like, it doesn't look how the promo pics that I saw do. It looks a lot lighter, and I've definitely seen some questionable reviews, and you can see, I mean, it barely shows up when you swatch it, but actually used on the cheeks, and you can see me use this in my Get Ready With Me video that I did recently, trying new makeup, and it looked very, very pretty. I didn't have any issues building it up and it being, you know, more than pigmented enough on my skin tone. I've used it a couple times since. I definitely prefer the more neutral shade, this shade, than I do this one. This one's definitely quite, it needs a fair bit of building up on me, but I also like to mix the two together, and that works beautifully as well. I think the packaging is gorgeous. I don't have any issues personally using this. I use it with my Sonia G blush brush and I love it. No surprises there because I do love NARS blushes. So on to the Pat McGrath collection, the Divine Rose 2 collection. Now obviously I didn't pick up the big palette because I already had that one, but I did pick up the mini, and that's what I'm wearing on my eyes today. I did trying trying to open it upside down. So as far as my Pat McGrath collection, this isn't like a standout for me. It's not as exciting as some of them, as like the Risque Rosé or the big Mothership palettes, because obviously it is a quad, and it is for Pat a more understated kind of go-to everyday palette than like her typical palettes. There's no special shades in here, so it's definitely not as exciting as some of the Pat McGrath palettes that I love the most, but at the same time it definitely ticks the box of a soft, pretty rose quad. If you don't own a lot of Pat McGrath, you'll probably love it more, but for me, because I own Divine Rose 1 and 2 and Risque Rosé, and like Mothership 5 that also has some rosy tones, and they're a bit more punchy than this one because they have these special shades in there as well as more options because they're larger. So for me, this one, not that it's a fail or I don't like it, I really like it, but it's just not the most exciting Pat McGrath palette that I own. But if you would like a more affordable version of Divine Rose 1 to that colour story, softer, daytime appropriate, it's super pretty. It's not that versatile, it kind of does like one look pretty much, but it does do what it says on the tin, and as always the formula is beautiful. I also picked up 2 of the liquid lips, so that's Divine Nude and Divine Rose. Let me try and swatch these. Try and be a little bit helpful today. So this is Divine Rose and this is Divine Nude. Now I love these colours, they're beautiful, they are right up my street. They go very beautifully with the eyeshadow palettes that were in this collection, the large and the quad that I have, but I don't love the formula. I'm not really a liquid lipstick, matte liquid lipstick kind of girl or fan. I just find them uncomfortable. I don't find them very flattering on lips that have lines and texture or that are more mature. And these, they aren't the worst, but they aren't the exception to the rule either. I love the Chanel liquid lipsticks. They are like not a liquid lipstick, but they are a liquid lipstick, if that makes sense. These are definitely a typical liquid lipstick, and I don't love the formula, but the shades are very pretty and they do perform very well, last very well, wear very well, and they are very easy to apply, but I just don't love liquid lipsticks, to be honest. I also picked up the Bullet, which was Divine Rose, and I do really love this. I love her Bullet matte formula. Anyway, this isn't typically my type of shade. I compared it to Pillow Talk. It's very similar to Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk. If I wear this with a liner, it's beautiful. Really goes with the whole rose look if you're going for that. And I do love her Bullet matte formula. Much nicer than a liquid lipstick in my opinion. And last but not least from that collection, the Highlight. Take a moment. So this is the highlight that I'm wearing today, and let me tell you, this is just it for me. This is it. This is it. When it comes to highlight, don't move to the left, Charlotte, don't move. This is everything I wish for, pray for, dream of in a highlight. It's the smoothest, most melt into the skin, the perfect level of glow that I prefer, like does not enhance texture on me. It's the perfect color. It's like undiscernible from my skin. It just adds glow and I am obsessed with it. I'm pretty sure this is my holy grail, my favorite of all time. I love the packaging. It's not as bougie and as luxe as her original, but I do prefer this formula, and it is just, it's, I saw in Temptalia's review that she put that as much as you can add as much as you want and it will never look too much, and it's so true. You can just add and add and add and hype up the glow, but it never looks cakey or heavy or too much or thick. It's just, you can't go wrong. It's foolproof. People have asked me, by the way, how it will work for fair skin, because it does have like a pinky type of gold. It does have like a rose gold color to it that on fairer skin may show more color than you want for a highlight. So if you're not sure if you have fairer skin, if it will work on you, I would have a look at Temptalia's review, because she does have fairish skin. I think she's like an NC20, so you'll be able to see it does show more color. So you just want to be careful, apply it further back or use it as a blush topper, but it's just stunning. Like my favorite highlighter, as far as I can think so far, So perfect. I'm obsessed with it. And some blushes that I picked up this month, the Vieve blushes. I love these. I think they are just beautiful. I think she knocked it out of the park. I picked up 3 shades. I have a whole review on these with swatches and demo on the cheeks and everything if you want to have more detail. So I picked up the shade Pesca, which is the lightest peachy shade. I also picked up Sorbet, which is like a coral, a bit more of a pop, gorgeous on like tanned deeper skin, and Piazza, which is like a rich rosy bronze. I love all 3 of these. I had a few comments in my review saying that Piazza looked patchy, but that was my fault. I stamped it on with my brush to show the colour and just to show how much pigment comes up on the brush, because these are looser pressed, so you have to be careful. And then obviously it's then, you know, more problematic to blend out once you've stamped it onto your cheek. And probably I didn't even set my foundation that day. I have not had any issues with patchiness or with blending out. I think they blend beautifully onto the skin as long as you don't stamp a whole brush full of product onto your cheek. So yeah, I think they're stunning. My favorite is probably Piazza. I think it's the most unique to my collection, but if you have fair skin or you're blush shy or you just want something really subtle, then Pesca is definitely the one for you. There are also a couple more shades that I think Cherub are stunning on deeper skin. So yeah, I feel like there's a shade for everybody and I really love these. Next up, a product I've ummed and ahed and gone back and forth 5,000 times with you guys, and this is the ABH Brow Freeze. So I have this on my brows today. You can probably tell they have that like fluffed up laminated look. I still don't fully know how I feel about it, to be honest. Today, I loved it. Obviously my brows are freshly tinted, so they're looking a bit fuller, and I've trimmed them, so they're kind of looking a bit neater. And today I really like it. It's given me that fluffed up look. I did like smear them down. I did press the brow hairs down, stuck them to my face today. And that is how you kind of have to use this. If you just don't want that laminated look, then definitely skip on this, because it doesn't work, in my opinion, on my brows to just hold your brows in place unless you glue them to your skin. That is the way that this works. I love that it is clear and it stays clear. It does not leave a residue through the brow. I love that. I love that it's very easy to use and quick, and you only need a small amount. But I wish I didn't have to kind of glue my brows to my skin to get them to stay, but I do. But at the same time, I'm here for this look today. And I feel like if you're going like a full glam day, then I'm okay with this. I like this look, this fluffed up laminated brow, but you know, for me, for every day going on the school run, this is a bit much. It doesn't really go with like a quick mascara and a bronzer. I feel like the brows are a bit much for every day. Personally, my preference, I'd rather my brows were more natural on a day-to-day basis, but when I'm going full glam, I'm definitely going to keep using that and pull it out. The one con I found is that the residue from whatever you've used will stay on your spoolie, and then it dries to like so your spoolie is full of like soap. So you do have to like wash your spoolie every day or like every other day. But you know, is it just me who hates that? But I don't know, just to let you know, letting you know. And a brow product that instantly came in and blew me away, holy grail status this month. I mean, this week, literally, I've used this. I've only had this like a week and I've been using it pretty much every day, even if I don't do my makeup, just to solidify my feelings. And my feelings are, I love it. It's the Huda Beauty brow pencil. What is this called? Bomb Brow pencil. I have the shade 7. I've used this today. It's perfection. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. I think it's a reasonable price. I think it's got a great shade range, but more than everything else about this brow pencil, I don't know if I can get that excited about a brow pencil, but to be honest, I do, because this is the smallest pencil I've ever seen in my life. Do you see how minuscule that is? I mean, I saw all these videos of people like shook to their core about I just thought they were like exaggerating or just overselling or something, or maybe it was sponsored. I truly did not expect this to be as small as it is. And then when I saw how small it was, I thought that's just literally going to snap the second I use it. And it doesn't. Obviously, you wouldn't want to like wind it like really. I imagine if you used it with it really wound up. It probably would snap, but that would be stupid. That would be your fault. Okay. I've used this probably 4 or 5 times now. I used it every day since it arrived and I'm obsessed with it. It's so fine. It hasn't snapped. I haven't been gentle with it. I've been using it as I would any brow pencil and it's amazing. You can't fit, it's just so small that even using it straight on, you can make hair strokes. It's so precise. It's just so easy. It's a treat. It's instantly whacked my KVD brow pencil straight off top spot and is now my favourite brow pencil. I love it. The shade is perfect and it's my new fave. Who knew? I really didn't expect it to be as great as it is, but I love it. Something else I love this month that I've got on my eyes today, and it's the Benefit, what is this called? Their Real Magnet Mascara. I kind of expected, I mean, I did have high hopes because Benefit can do mascaras, as I said in my review. You know, Benefit is, if they're bringing out a mascara, it's going to be good because they do mascaras like nobody's business. But I did feel like it was because of the whole magnet thing, it was going to be a bit gimmicky. So if you don't know, basically the brush in here has a magnet through the core and then the formula has like some kind of magnetic quality to it. So it's designed to sort of pull the product through your lashes beyond where your natural lashes go and give you super amazing length. Now, I don't notice any kind of magnetic force. I don't feel my lash being magnetically pulled or anything weird like that. Well, that's probably a good thing because that would be quite strange. But it's beautiful. It's a lovely mascara. I don't think, ironically, it gives me quite the length that I get from like the Pat McGrath Dark Star or Lancôme Monsieur Big as far as the like dramatic big fat lash category. I don't think it quite hits the mark as much as those two, but it does give me a fanned out voluminous lash with lots of separation and zero clumping, and I love it on my lower lashes. It's quite different to the Charlotte Tilbury for those of you wanting me to compare it to that. This is more of the big fat lashes. Charlotte Tilbury is more of the separated, fluttery, fanned out everyday lashes. So these two aren't similar, but as far as the category with like Lancôme Monsieur Big and the Dark Star, it's definitely up there as far as how much I love it, but I prefer the Pat McGrath. It's probably on a par with Lancôme Monsieur Big. I think I prefer the Pat McGrath because it's slightly more black, I think, and it gives me slightly more length. But at the same time, this is easier going on the lower lashes. So yeah, it's definitely like pros and cons between those, but it is really up there. I love it. I will keep using it and remains to be seen yet whether I will repurchase it, but I wouldn't be surprised if I do because I'm really enjoying it so far. And now for the usual plethora of lip products. So I picked up 3 of the Charlotte Tilbury Hyaluronic Happy Kiss shades. I had Happy Coral, Happy Peach and Romance Kiss. Happy Coral is limited edition, but as you'll see, it's very similar to one of the other shades I have. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with these. I love this product. It is gorgeous. It's right up my street. It's a balmy lipstick that's super hydrating and balm-like and has a glossy, plump finish to it. It's juicy. It looks like juicy, plump, fresh, healthy lips. I love it. And I love that they're so easy to apply, etc. This is Happy Coral, Happy Peach and Romance Kiss. And I will say Romance Kiss is a hair deeper than Happy Coral, but it is pretty similar. If this one is sold out or you can't repurchase it because it's limited, then Romance Kiss is not a million miles away. So yeah, as far as these lipsticks go, performance-wise on the lips, obsessed, love everything about them. Absolutely beautiful. Love to wear them. Will love them even more in summer. Plan to buy more shades, but I hate with a vengeance. I hate the packaging. It's so cheap and flimsy and light and not really Charlotte Tilbury at all. And it is such a mess because they wind up and they don't wind down. So if you wind up too much, it's just wasted and it gets smushed in the lid. And when you apply it, it just gets all around here. And this is obviously like a sort of, I mean, it's not quite white, but it's like a cream bullet. And it's just always covered in product. They're such a mess. I hate that. I wish they wound down. I wish they were more like her Superstar packaging or her regular lipstick packaging. I hate the packaging, but the product is perfection. Two more lip products that I'm loved with and I have no issues with the packaging, and these are the YSL Volupté Shine, Rouge Volupté Shine. They're new shades, there are lots of new shades, but I picked up 122 and 121. These are kind of a similar type of deal to the Charlotte Tilbury, only they wind back down and they have really nice packaging. But they do that glossy, that glossy, plumping, full lip with a glossy finish. One of these don't swatch very well, I will say that. So that's 121, 122. They look very sheer. Once you apply them on the lips, they actually have a lot more colour. When I swatched these, I was like, oh, disappointed. But when I applied them to my lips, they're actually very beautiful and they have plenty of pigment and they're very buildable. But yeah, 122, obviously much darker than 121, much more of a wash of nude. I love them. I love the smell. I love the packaging. I love the look of them. So yeah. I guess probably I would recommend, would I though? I don't know which I would recommend to you, the Charlotte Tilbury or the YSL, because I think I probably prefer, these have like more colour to them, they're more opaque and they're thicker. I prefer the feel of them on the lips. These are thinner, like almost like they feel like a stain but they don't dry down to a stain. But the packaging versus this packaging, I don't know. It depends, I guess, what matters most to you. And last but not least, for my favourites anyway, is this bad boy. I picked this up just randomly on a whim because I really wanted a glossy red lip. Like that's all the rage these days. I've only really got satin or matte, well, I have only got satin or matte red lip products. So I wanted a pigmented red gloss, and so all the research I did, this Louboutin gloss in the shade Altressa or Altressa, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, popped up everywhere as being it, and it is. I've worn this in a couple of videos and everybody, and posted photos wearing it on my Instagram, and you guys were like obsessed, as am I. It's just, do you see the pigment in there for a gloss? It smells divine. It's obviously the packaging is insane, but like that for a gloss, it's the ultimate red glossy lip. If you want a red glossy lip that's fully opaque, one swipe, it's amazing. I mean, obviously it's ridiculously expensive, but sometimes, you know, girl's got to treat herself. And now for the single soul fail of the month, and it is a fairly solid fail. It is the ABH Highlight. This is the shade Iced Out, and I don't like it at all. Every time I try to open this, I have a problem opening it as well. It's like really clunky. I don't like it at all. I don't really know who this is for. I feel like it looks so starkly white that people with very fair skin were really excited about this, and it really looked like it was going to be for super fair skin to have a highlight that's not going to leave a cast. But then actually when you swatch it, it's very gold and green in a weird way. When I swatch it here, I think you can probably see that it's got a green shift to it. The green doesn't really translate on my skin. It just looks very yellow on my skin. But I have also seen it look very green on people. So I feel like for that reason, most people with fair skin aren't going to love that. And I don't know how it's going to work on people with deeper skin either. I don't like anything about it. I feel like it sits on top of the skin. I feel like it's much too glittery and textured for my preference when it comes to highlights. I just don't like it. I don't like the colour. I don't like the formula. It's definitely, to me, not an improvement or even an equal to like the Amrezy highlight that everybody was hoping it was going to be, because it has that same pattern. I do like the packaging, other than the fact that I cannot open it without a bit of a battle every time. I love the print is very nice. I'm trying to think of other things to say about it, but I know I'm just not going to use this again. It's just a fail for me. I'm sorry. So there you have it. Those are all my favourites and one fail from the month of February. I'm so glad we managed to get through this. Thank you for bearing with me. Hopefully we'll be able to get some more videos filmed this week, but it is just going to be on a try and see basis, because obviously it's not good for me to be editing right now as well. I've got to try and keep my neck straight and try and heal and get better so that we can get back to business. Obviously, we are still homeschooling. We've got 1 week. This is the last week of homeschooling and the kids are back to school on Monday. So things will be just getting easier all around, hopefully. So I hope you're having a great rest of your week. I hope we see each other again this week, but if not, we'll see each other very, very soon. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'd love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye, 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 bye.